thought it would be a great idea to interview some inspiring people. And this lady that I'm interviewing today is absolutely inspiring. And really, she has helped me. She's helped many people. I send my patients to her often. She really is an inspiring soul. I want to introduce you to Elizabeth Toufexis Villager. I hope I got that right, Elizabeth. She is an NLP coach, a life coach. She's a hypnotherapist. She's an all-around great person because she does lots of charity fundraising. She's the director of the Global Women Cyprus, and she's really moving mountains with that one. And she's multilingual, and she's helping really hundreds of thousands of people with her book, with her courses, etc. So I'll introduce you to Elizabeth. How are you doing today in Cyprus?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me, Caroline. It's so good to see you. I wish we could be in the same room right now. But I'm in Cyprus and it is actually cloudy. I think it's one of the 20 days a year when it's cloudy.
Yes, don't you know? Absolutely. We definitely wouldn't be in the same room. We'd probably be in some lovely overlooking the beach somewhere, forget the rooms, with the feet in the sand. Absolutely. I do give my love to Cyprus. It's the best time of year for Cyprus. So anyone who's willing to travel or can travel, I would suggest it. And look Elizabeth up when you're there. But I wanted to ask you today, how did you even become a life coach? Because I always like to hear about someone's personal journey on this. How did they get into the role of healer?
It's quite a long story because I only became a life coach about 7 years ago. And as you can see, I'm over 35. So I started quite late. I was a tour guide when I was young, and I have a lot of people's experience. I brought up 2 children. But I had a very interesting experience when I was 29. I was in a shopping mall in Florida and I picked up this book. I was there with my clients and I was spending time and I was browsing in this bookshop and I picked up the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And I took it to my hotel and I had never read a personal development or self-help book before. I didn't know that I had a subconscious mind. We're talking about 30 years ago, you know, there was no personal development, maybe Dale Carnegie. So that book, I couldn't stop reading. I started reading that book that night and I couldn't stop because it just fascinated me so much to understand that I have how much more power that I had over my mind than I knew. It was really an eye-opener. It's kind of the night I moved from the passenger seat to the driver's seat. And I started doing all sorts of personal development as of then. I bought more books, I did courses, I learned more and more and more. But it wasn't until 7 years ago when I decided that I have all this knowledge. I have really managed to create a life that I like, and I wanted to pass it on to people, but I needed tools. So I trained. I went to Dubai twice for a course, and I trained first as a life coach, and then I did my master coach training. And I love watching people change. I love watching people heal. I love watching people straighten up. You can see the shift when you actually do I'm sure you know that from your work, when you actually realize that somebody feels better. That's my joy. Of being a life coach.
So how do you actually help people on a one-to-one? How do you go about that?
It depends, of course. It depends what they come for. I do a lot of hypnosis. I have quite a lot of hypnosis clients because you see here in Cyprus people talk to each other, so it's a lot of word of mouth advertising. We have a lot of fears here. I'm sure you remember we had a plane crash in 2005. Or 2005, and 120 people died. And in Cyprus, everybody knew somebody who was on that plane, or who knew somebody who knew somebody. And there was so much fear of flying since then, maybe even before, but of course more then. So fear hypnosis to get rid of phobias. I do a lot of goal setting, of course, as well, for people who don't really feel that they have a problem, but they come and talk to me. And then what happens is when you start talking to people, you find out that they have limiting beliefs that were instilled in them as children, or they have habits that they don't really know about, but those habits hold them back. And also sometimes they have conflicting values. This is all based on NLP, based on the subconscious mind. For example, when you find out that somebody wants to do something adventurous, You know, somebody wants to go on a world tour, or I don't know, somebody wants to start their own business, but their values from home have always been based on safety and security, and, you know, don't go out on a limb, don't do this. Then they have this that holds them back. So that's what I do. I do timeline therapy, which is also a method of to help getting rid of fears, getting rid of anger. Anger is a big issue. Forgiving is important. I do forgiving exercises. I just help people let go of what holds them down.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, we really need you at this time of what's been going on globally. I mean, what an offering that you have. It's amazing. I know, even that I remember not that long ago, I sent a patient to you of mine who was absolutely terrified of flying. And, you know, she was going to leave the country. She was in Cyprus, going to leave the country to go to France. And she's like, I don't know how to
say her name, because she gave me a testimonial, Barbara.
Barbara, she's a superstar, Barbara. Well, she's in France now. So she made it with your help. I mean, really blessed. I had her on all sorts of flower essences and everything, but really what needed was that change in the mindset and to overcome these fears, which is what
she
you do.
hadn't been on a plane for 10 years.
Amazing.
And she was very, when she came to my house, she was very reluctant. She did not like the idea at all. And when she left, I don't do the hypnosis the same day. That is something which is very important to know. If you go to a hypnotist and he does the hypnosis right away, I wouldn't do it. I speak to people. I need to find out what I need to change in the subconscious mind. And then I write the script, the hypnosis script, based on that talk. So you need 2 sessions for a hypnosis. And I remember when Barbara left, she asked me if she could hug me. So I thought, this is it, we're done.
I'm so pleased. But that's great as well that, you know, that you do it professionally. You're not just like go in, wham, bam, you know, you're done and off you go. I mean, really true healing takes knowing to find the cause and to really go deep with that. And there's something that you and me are really passionate about, getting to the cause of it, not just massaging over something. We need to go deep and to really find out what the cause. And that takes work, and that takes delving deep. So it's really great that that's what you do. I will keep sending people your way. So tell me, what is your vision? That's another thing I wanted to ask you today. What is your vision? I mean, for your vision for you and your offerings with the world, and your greater vision.
Well, I am one of those, I'm a dreamer. I'm one of those people who believes that we're all good. I don't like watching the news, because the news, they talk about this one person who does something bad and 8 billion. I mean, I'm not saying that 8 billion are good, but I just believe that there are so many more good people in the world. And I was a tour guide for 11 years, and I have seen people all over the world. And the more I traveled, the more I realized that we are all the same. We all want to be happy, and we all want to be healthy. And all those conflicts and the wars, it's all just politicians. It's all people. It's not the people. The people want peace. The people want to, you know, of course we want to be successful, whatever that means. You want to maybe make money, or you might want to, like, my vision is that we are all living happily together. And of course that is a dream, but why not dream? You know, I believe that if you can dream it, you can do it. And the only person who can change your, who causes your problem and who can find solution for a problem is the person in the mirror. You know, as long as your happiness depends on somebody else, or as long as your happiness depends on a thing, then you give your power away, because the power is inside of you. And that is not so easy, you know. And sometimes people find this a bit offensive, you know. They will say, you know, it's easy for her to say, but I have lived that. I had a difficult beginning, and of course I have my bad days too sometimes, you know. There are days when I wake up in the morning and I can't stand myself, but but that doesn't last, because I know what to do, and I know that the reason why this happens is because of me. It's not because of somebody else. So what is my vision? My vision is that we should, it's a beautiful phrase that I once read somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but I believe that we are all just walking each other home.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That is very beautiful. Wow. That says it. Yeah, that
I
absolutely
think
says it.
so, wherever that is or
Yeah.
whatever it is, because the one thing that is important to know in life, that everything is temporary. You know, good things are temporary. That's why it's important to enjoy the good things. Because what we do sometimes is when we are going through a good time, we actually find something to worry about. And, 90% of the things that we worry about never happen. And then the bad time comes, and it's good to know that that goes too. And this situation that we are in now, this COVID situation, whatever it is, it will pass. It will pass. And it's our choice who we want to be on the other side.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with you as a guide, I mean, really, this is awesome. I think maybe this whole time has, it's exactly what you're saying. It will pass, but it's also teaching people that, do you want to waste any more time? Because time has been wasted. This year is a big teller for people. So are you going to hold yourself back? And this is maybe what we can say from today is that certainly, people can continue to hold themselves back, but there is another way, because someone like you will help to chip off the blocks, to clear the pathways, and off they go and they can live their life to their fullest. So that's really, really great. I mean, for my patients, for people that I know, to know that this is possible, that they can do that. They're not just, this is the way that they are and they have to put up with this stuff and believe what they're told at all. We can change every single step of the way.
Yes, there is so much one can do, but you have to have the willingness. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to take the initiative. You have to say, I don't want this anymore. This is not how I want to live. I want to make a change. And then you have to do the work.
Yeah, you're right. Something you said to me recently was, it'll stop when you've had enough of it. And absolutely right, because I was had enough of my mess of, like, I was always going on to the next thing. I thought, okay, and the other day you're in my head. I thought, absolutely. I just blitzed the whole lot. I was like, okay, I got it. I'm hearing her loud and clear now. So yeah, really great. So it's fantastic. Tell me, how can my people and other people, how can they get in touch with you? I mean, really, to get sessions with you, I presume it's online these days.
Yeah, I do a lot of Zoom coaching, mostly on Zoom. I do webinars. I do some free webinars. The best thing is to follow me on social media or on YouTube. It's all my name. The name, it's all going to be in the comments. And follow me on social media, Instagram. I put an inspirational post on Facebook every day. Lots of people actually wait for my post in the morning because they tell me that I put them in a good mood, and that gives me joy. And I have a website, which is www.thesoulkit.com, because it's based on my book. This is my published book. But I've got other ebooks that are available on my website.
Brilliant. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here and for doing what you're doing and passing on your knowledge and support to so many people. Is fantastic. So keep shining your lighthouse over in Cyprus. Keep shining it. And
likewise, you keep shining yours, because it's together that the world becomes brighter. And thank you very, very much for having me.